Reservation in the house. Ladies and gentlemen, I come from a reservation in South Dakota. Give it up for me. I made it off the res. That's a big deal, you know. That's like Gilligan making it off the island. I didn't even know I could leave the res. I was like, what? We can leave? I was pissed, man. You know, I used to stand on the reservation line looking out. And my family, they were like, hey, JR, get away from there. You're gonna get us in trouble. And I was like, I'm waiting for the sacred Budweiser truck to arrive. Oh, man. Yeah, I have an Indian name. My Indian name is Wambli Ohitika. I know, it sounds like my dad just looked into a bowl of alphabet soup. We shall call him... Wambli Ohitika. Says right here in the bowl.
Give it up for JRRedwater.
Gotta be fresh. Gotta be fresh.
Oh, yeah. What's up, JR? Good to see you, brother.
Wow.
That was
Eric
a nice-
Allegria.
Yeah.
Man, long time no see, bro.
It's great to see you, brother.
It's just the best to see here.
Here, cheers,
I'm
man.
glad you're doing good.
We got some Gentleman Jack for the
there
gentleman
you go.
best dressed right here.
Salute,
JRRedwater.
Thank you so much.
Yeah.
This is kind of how I dressed when I was doing that set, actually.
Nice. Where was that recorded at?
Hollywood at the El Rey Theater off of Wilshire.
Oh,
you know,
okay.
in West Hollywood.
Oh, nice. Very cool. Yeah, so
Yeah, my mom was there.
no way. Oh,
Yeah, she passed away last year.
I'm sorry to hear that.
Yeah, I literally killed her.
Oh no.
One of my jokes. And I was like, Mom, I didn't mean to make you laugh that hard. And she's like,
Oh, dude.
no,
no.
but it's been like a year now.
Oh,
You know,
okay.
She was a big inspiration. In my
Was
life.
she?
Yeah,
Yeah. Was she very supportive with your stand up?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Like she was there, you know? Like
Yeah.
and that's kind of one of the things you want to do, you know, is like really impress your parents before they kick the bucket.
Absolutely.
Yeah, so.
I think that's the person that I wanted to laugh the most, you know,
Right.
is my mom
Yeah.
or my dad, you know,
Yeah.
either one.
Yeah. And my dad was hard to impress because he always had all the dad jokes, you know. My mom, she was just like a loud mouth,
Yeah.
you know. So I got both of that from both of them, you know.
Oh, wow.
So my dad passed like 10 years ago, and my mom passed last year, and I'm okay with that.
Yeah,
you
yeah.
know, like it's a part of life.
Do you have any brothers or sisters?
I have sisters. I don't have a brother. Well, I have a brother. He's in heaven already
okay.
too. You know, a
Right,
younger
huh?
brother. So
Older or
but
younger?
he's younger.
Okay.
Yeah. He would have been like, I don't know. I'm 46. He would have been like 44.
44?
Right now. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
But he passed when he was 30.
Oh,
he was
okay.
real young. You know, it's kind of like, you know, like these drugs. You know, it's
Yeah.
like these accidental overdoses, and
Yeah.
people are like gone.
Yeah, yeah.
And that's kind of how he went.
Oh, okay.
Accidentally, like he just was trying to get high.
Yeah.
You know?
It's just a regular, you know, session, and then it was just laced with some harder stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I have good memories with all of them, and you
That's
know,
awesome.
Yeah.
So he seemed like, you know, he lived life to the fullest.
yeah, he was
And-
an awesome. He was funny. When we got together, it was just like
Yeah.
we're always like bantering
Really?
back and forth, and it was
Bagging on
just
each
so-
other or what?
and other people though.
Oh,
you
right.
know,
Yeah.
like we were the life of the party.
Oh,
a
hell
lot
yeah.
of time like that. So yeah, his name was Bob.
Bob? Oh, okay.
Big Bad Bob.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, he had 12 kids before he passed.
Wow.
So So I still see his kids around, like his image and stuff.
Oh,
you
I'm
know?
sure, bro.
Yeah.
12, damn.
Yeah.
He's a
it's
ladies'
pretty
man,
cool.
huh?
Yeah, dude, he was handsome as heck, man. Like I couldn't have a girlfriend around him because they ended up going out with him. They're
Damn.
like, screw JR.
He wanted it all for
They just
himself.
have that
Yeah.
good looks,
Oh,
man. He
damn.
couldn't help it, you know.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, I'm decent looking,
Yeah.
but he had it going on, man.
Right
for
on.
Sure.
He probably had game too.
Yeah,
which
he
is
had
important.
mad game.
Yeah.
Bro. Like we going to proms and stuff because we went to prom every year in high school, but like we danced.
Yeah.
you know, like we were dancing with all the ladies.
Yeah.
you know? Like I remember one time I would go up to the girls and I would be like, hey. I'll snap my fingers. They'll be like, he pointed at me. So, like,
Yeah.
we used to dance with all the girls because not everybody knows how to dance. You know,
That's
not
true.
everybody grows up like that.
That's true.
Yeah.
Dudes that know how to dance, they get more chicks than guys that don't.
Yeah.
It's a proven fact.
They said if you can dance, you're good in bed.
Yeah, exactly. There you go.
Yeah, it's true.
It's true.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah. Dude, man,
Good
wow.
time. Long
that's
time,
wild.
dude.
Yeah, dude.
It's weird after this whole pandemic, you know?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
It's really, really crazy to see like comedians from the old school. Well, our old school.
Sure.
You know?
No, I was talking with another comedian about this. You know, us as stand-ups, we're used to being out almost every night, multiple times, multiple venues a night, and
all over.
our thing is like hanging out.
Yeah,
You know, even
yeah.
if we don't have a spot. You know.
Yeah.
Remember the Parlor on Melrose on
Yeah,
Monday night? Jay Davis used to have that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good room.
Right. Yeah, that was a
Yeah.
good room.
Yeah, they don't do that no more, huh?
No,
Well, what happened to Jay?
I don't know.
I haven't seen him around for a while.
Yeah, I haven't seen him either. But I haven't seen a lot of people.
Right,
for a long
I
time,
haven't.
You know,
It's been a grip, man.
Yeah.
And I've been going through life anyway,
Yeah.
just trying to build up that material.
sure.
Yeah.
That's what you got to do.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? We gotta face it no matter what.
Yeah.
So-
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember when I first came to the and I was already established as
Yeah.
a comedian, just nobody really knew who I was, because I was already touring.
Yeah. You were making money.
Yeah, I just went right for the money,
Yeah.
bro.
I don't blame you. Yeah. Yeah.
But I got out of the Navy,
Yeah.
and I was just so gung ho about like, hey, because in the Navy, like I was super gung ho.
Yeah.
And then when I got out, it was just like, I live in America, man. This is a land of opportunity.
Yeah.
I'm gonna make the most of it.
Oh yeah.
And that's what I did, and I just ran comedy like a business from the start.
Oh,
I
man.
wrote an hour of material, and I
Really?
was like, I'm ready to go. And I used to stand in my garage, and I built a stage, and
Really?
kind of
Wow.
like you have the studio, I built that in the garage.
Yeah.
And I had my mic and my speaker, and I used to put chairs in my garage,
Wow.
and I would just practice my hour like over and over before I even took it on stage.
Wow.
That's how I was working, and I was just I really just wanted to make it. Like
Yeah.
I was so determined, and that's how the military like trains your mind,
Is how
like,
with the
just put all-
visualizer?
put all the cards in your favor, and that's what I did. I just wrote out a business plan and I followed it. And I had it in front of me every day at my desk when I was working. It was framed right there. So I was just like going for all these goals. And I remember I would just mark them off each time. Like I would complete one and I would go down the list. And I owe a lot of credit to a guy. His name's Steve Roy.
Yeah.
He had this program he started in 2003, and it was called Make Money in 90 Days Doing Stand-Up Comedy. And it's called killerstandup.com. I mean, I'm not trying to plug him or nothing, but like I'm giving him credit, And I joined that test group, and that's when the internet was on dial-up and stuff, It was like T1 and whatever, and we used to all meet online, and he just looked at comedy more different than the traditional style, which was set up punchline. His was more of like storytelling,
Wow.
you know? And so I got into it, and he had a system called positive audience response, which is when people are laughing, clapping, cheering, whatever, you know?
Yeah.
And that can be recorded on audio. You could time that.
Yeah.
So I was timing the laughs I was getting. And at first they were short laughs. Then after taking his course, and I mean, I dropped out halfway through his course because I was making money already.
Oh,
That's
wow.
how quick I got
That's
at
wild.
it. And so I would record every set I did. Then I would go back and then I would time each laugh. He had software that he invented that records each laugh. And so that's how my laughs became bigger and bigger and bigger. And then I was talking less on stage and they were laughing more.
Wow.
So that was the ratio. You know, usually a ratio is comedians do all the talking and the audience barely laughs. That's like the ratio. So it's like, say if you're on stage 10 minutes, 30, if you had a 30 par score, means 30% of the time they were laughing and 70% of the time you were talking.
Oh, wow.
That's how it works.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah.
So you can measure those by time. So
Wow.
if you had 2 stopwatches, you
Yeah.
know?
Yeah.
So I got into it. It was kind of like the science of comedy
Wow.
at that point. You know how people say laughs per minute? It's not that.
Is that?
It was the length of the laugh.
Oh.
You get it?
Yeah.
And so that was the big deal. So I ended up going pro in 2004 on my own. Like, you don't need permission. No one has to discover you or nothing.
Right.
You know? And I don't think most people know that, you know, right?
Yeah.
Like you have to get beat up in Hollywood and, you know, do 7-minute spots here and there. And I was doing hours in the beginning.
Wow.
And it was through that program. It just kind of opened up my eyes. And I just went for it. I quit my job and in 2004, January 6th to be exact. And I just went pro, and I was going all over the country, working my niche. I'm Native American, so I just went to all the Native communities, and they embraced me, and I started making them laugh, you know? And after that, it was just like regular, just calling them. I would put ads in like Native publications and stuff, papers and magazines that they were public. I would buy ads in there. And then people would call me, you know,
for hire.
Yeah,
oh,
yeah. So I spent money to make money.
Yeah,
that's true. You have to do that, you know.
Yeah.
But I wasn't gonna lose,
right?
Because you know, like when you're brand new and you're doing stand up in Southern California, Hollywood, Orange County, wherever, you have to have a name already.
Yeah.
Otherwise nobody's gonna respect you.
Yeah.
And they'll always kick you, especially if you're not part of our clique or whatever, you know?
Right.
And every comedian experiences that when you're here.
Yeah.
But I was like, nah, I'm not gonna wait in line. I'm getting out of here,
Yeah,
you know?
yeah.
And I did. I mean, I dressed good today, but I dressed good back then.
Okay.
Because I was just like, I'm a pro.
Yeah.
And that's how I'm going to represent myself.
Yeah.
And even though I'm not making real money right now, that's what I was thinking. Like, I'm still a pro.
Right.
You know? Like,
yeah.
I ain't going to let nobody tell me different because this is going to happen.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's amazing. Mind over everything, right?
Yeah. You can't quit. That's one thing. I just read some graffiti on the billboard on the way here to the podcast, and it says, "Do not quit." And then I seen some initials, but then I see the last name. It says Hill, but then I see a C in front of it. Well, Charlie Hill was one of my mentors. Do you know Charlie Hill?
No.
He was one of Richard Pryor's best friends.
Get out of here.
Yeah, he was on the Richard Pryor show in 75, I think it was.
That's
77.
wild, dude.
And Charlie Hill passed away too. The theme is not death, okay, people? But he was one of my mentors, and I used to go all over Hollywood with him. And he used to show, man, I met a lot of my heroes in comedy. Like, Dom Irera.
Yeah.
Like, I love Dom Irera. I used to watch him on TV when I was a kid.
Yeah.
And he was so funny.
Yeah.
And then now I'm smoking a joint with him at
Yeah.
the Comedy Store, you know,
Yeah,
like
yeah.
in the back room, you
Sure.
know? Like, it's really cool, this lifestyle, because you get to meet your heroes.
Yeah.
You know? And then they hang out with you.
Yeah.
And they really don't act like they're your hero.
Right.
They just know they're badass, though.
Right.
You know?
Yeah.
And Charlie Hill was one of them. And so I felt like that was a message when I was driving here, you know? Because I seen C Hill.
Oh.
But it says, don't ever give up. That's what it said on the billboard. And that's the theme right now, is don't ever give up.
Don't ever give up.
As long as you don't do that, and you stick around,
Yeah.
and you hang around,
Yeah.
and then you're learning,
Yep.
and then you're just hungry for it, you're going to make it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Is that how you feel about it?
I do. I
Yeah.
do. I think persistence is king. And yeah, if you just keep at it, yeah, something's going to happen because you only get better. You
Yeah.
know this.
Yes.
Because, I mean, even though you were crushing the game when you first came out and were doing stuff, you know, and even though you're getting these laughs and this and that, you know that you've gotten a lot better after, you know, weeks and months and years. You know, you just
evolve.
feel it. Yeah, you evolve.
Even from when I ended up getting a TV spot and going on national TV, even that wasn't my apex. You know what I'm saying?
Sure. Yeah.
Like, I still feel I haven't got there yet,
Right.
because I feel like you become more relaxed as a human being after you're pro for so long.
Yeah.
And then you get real
Right.
instead of jokey,
Right.
you know?
Yeah.
And jokey works for TV,
Right.
right?
Yeah.
But like, if you're in a live audience and like you're just there and being raw,
Yeah.
like, that's the realness right there. And I think that's what people respect about comedy.
I think so too.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
That's what I used to love watching you, man. Like, I'll sit there and I'll crack up, and you're like, what was one of your like punchlines that was always like,
Do it.
do it. Yeah.
Yeah.
It was do it.
Yeah, yeah.
And I would crack up so hard. I'm like, I love that right
Thanks,
there.
man.
And because that defines you, you know? But that's how cool you were. Like, I was like, that dude is so cool right now.
Thanks,
Like, I
man.
love that shit. Yeah. So like, that's iron sharpening iron, you know? It was just like every night in the clubs, you're like there, and you're seeing people who are like veterans or already on TV,
Yeah.
and just doing things.
Yeah.
You know, making the world like shake.
Oh.
You know?
For sure.
And then when you become a part of that, it's just so amazing.
It's
like,
amazing, yeah.
Yeah, it's just like you have the world in the palm of your hand, but also you enjoy the ride.
Oh yeah.
And
For sure.
and then you're rocking it right along with, you know, all your heroes,
Yeah.
all your buddies that you look
Dope.
up to. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, the thing is, like, me and you know, we started in LA, right?
Right.
So this is the major leagues. This is the top of the top.
Yeah.
So if you're gonna start, I mean, so when you're starting, you're already, you know, you suck, right?
Right.
You're only getting better as you go, right? Just like anything, right?
Uh-huh.
But we're going up after, you know, Jeffrey Ross or, you know, Dom Irera
Right.
or Ron White or, you know, who else? Joe Rogan. Who cares? You know, we're going against like
They're all there.
name
Yeah.
name brands.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah.
And even the lower level guys are just monsters. You know?
They're killers.
Killers, dude.
They're funnier than them guys.
Yeah,
You know?
because they're hungry.
Yeah.
And they're throwing like everything, you know,
Yeah.
at them. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Because they're hungry and they don't know
Yeah.
who's out in that audience, right? And
Yeah.
it's LA, it's Hollywood, it's all that. So like, who in the audience? It could be a major producer,
Right.
agent,
Right.
you know, any of them.
And how many of our friends made it? You know,
Right.
like
Oh.
got on big productions and
Or we're
all-
on
yeah.
TV while we're hanging out with them.
Yeah,
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 absolutely.
Yeah, yeah.
tons
And
of
that's
them.
just the best feeling is like, And you don't have to mention it when you're hanging out because everybody already kind of knows what's going on with everybody.
Yeah,
you know,
sure.
And then it's just a really like you have to be here though.
Yeah, you
like
gotta be
if
here.
you're living in the Midwest and you're going hard there and you're the best there, you're the big fish in a small pond.
Right.
But when you come here, you're the little fish in a big pond, and then you really have to scrap for it.
Yeah. Yeah. No, absolutely.
And that was a good thing about like going pro on my own, hitting the road, doing an hour. Like literally, that's what I did. I just rode an hour because people are like, "Can you do an hour?" Oh yeah. Then I'll get off the phone. I'm like, I gotta ride an hour, and I kind of forced myself to do it, you know. And it was good.
Oh, wow.
And by the time I came back into LA, Hollywood, Orange County, San Diego, wherever it is, I was already established.
Yeah.
I already had jokes.
Yeah.
Like that were killing on the road. Like
Yeah.
were getting me paid.
Yeah.
So when I came here, I wasn't so desperate to make it. I wasn't like, I already felt like, hey man, I got my thing going on. I wanted to share that with other comedians too, but like other comedians just already have in their head what they're gonna do.
Right.
So you can't really change your mind anyway.
Yeah, we have strong personalities. It's kind of hard to steer us away from what we got in our head, our plan, our game plan and stuff like that. Like I remember when I first started, nobody could tell me nothing,
Oh, right,
you could give me advice and this and that, but like I already had in my head, where I needed to, what I needed to do and where I needed to go. I was open to suggestions and this and that, but like nothing was stopping me.
Right. Right.
That's why it's funny because like whenever like somebody wants to start stand-up comedy and they ask me, should I start, should I become a comedian? I tell them no. Because if they really want to do it, they're not going to listen to me.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
They're going to F you, you know what I mean? Like you're just going to like people could have told me to quit every day.
Right.
It doesn't matter. I was going to
true.
still go. I was still going to do it because it was here. It wasn't, I didn't need, I didn't need to hear that. You know what I mean?
When did you know you first wanted to do stand up?
Oh, like I was in high school and they had a lock-in. Did you ever have that, like in hige school?
I've been to them where they try to keep the kids sober all night.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
We're like, come on, man, we gotta sneak the booze in.
That's funny. Yeah.
So that's where you learned it. Like you're like, I want to do comedy. You probably made them all laugh all night. Right?
Yeah. Well, we took turns going up and making our friends laugh.
Right.
And when I did that, it was boom, instant. And it was boom. It was like, oh, wow.
And you just have the right tone of voice. That's like me. I talk slow, I'm like, I'm just
voice.
like, you're right.
Yeah,
and I think like that was a complex of mine before. Like people always say, man, you talk slow. And I'm like, hey man, I didn't want to talk,
Yeah.
But I knew I was funny ever since second grade because like all my classmates would, at the end of the year, what we did in our second grade is we get one of those piece of papers, like a construction paper, and put your name on it.
Yeah.
Then everybody gets to sign it, right, at the end of the year, and they all put, you're so funny. You should be a stand-up comedian. Back then, I barely knew what a stand-up was, And I was like, what is that? Then I used to check out all the joke books at the library. And so I kind of knew early on it was always a secret because if you tell somebody, they'll put you down and kind of crush your dreams a little. So I always kept it a secret.
Yeah.
And then when I was getting on the Navy in 99, it was probably late December of 98, but I got out in 99, early 99. After 4 years, and one of my shipmates, he's like, "We're cleaning the bathroom. They call it the head."
Yeah.
We're just like in there bullshitting.
Yeah.
And he's like, he's like, hey, Red, I'm gonna be a stand-up comedian when I get out of the Navy. I said, you know what? I'm gonna be a stand-up too.
Nice.
You know, and then years later, after all this, you know, he connects with me on Facebook and he's like, hey, Redwater, you're a comedian. And I'm like, yeah, what about you, bro? He's I never had the balls to do it.
Oh, nice.
Man.
Yeah.
But he inspired me.
Oh, cool.
You know?
Yeah, no. I've had similar stories like that where like someone else, you know, he was like the person that you'd think that was going to do stand up. Right. He was outgoing and all that and stuff.
And
I was
funny.
more, quiet and reserved. But when I did talk, I was funny, you know?
Right.
All right. Let's, so we got some. But I mean, it is about, you know, continuing and just never stopping and just going and, you know, and you'll get rewarded.
And I don't know about you, but like there was one time when I felt like I wanted to quit, and that was the very first time I did comedy. Because I bombed.
Yeah.
Like I bombed super hard, dude. Like I just thought you'd get up there and talk.
Yeah.
You know?
Right.
Like, and basically that's what I do today,
Right.
but like it took a lot of work
Right.
to get to that point.
Yeah.
And I super bombed, dude, and it was at the Irvine Improv, you know?
Yeah.
And the manager, his name was Jeff Jenna at the time. I don't know if you know Jeff, but he's super funny, and he coached me, and he became my mentor for a little while. But he said after my set, he said, how do you think you did, JR? And I said, I did all right when I know I didn't, you know? And he's all like, why don't you go work on your act for 6 months and come back? I'll give you another spot. I was like, oh, man, that was like devastating for me. So I went and worked on my act, dude. Like, but for 3 days, I was like, I can't do this. I can't do this. And I'm like, I'm talking to myself, you know, and my head's literally under the pillow in shame, you know?
Sure.
And I'm like, you know, JR, you could do it because, like, you were in the Navy. You used to launch $30 million jets off a catapult. Like, you could do this. Like, you weren't the best when you first started that job.
Right.
But you were the best when you left, you know?
Yeah.
And this is the same way.
Wow.
And so I hired a coach, and he taught me the basics. And then the rest is history because I just stayed hungry. You know?
That's so important, man. It's so important because, you know, the hungriest one or the more hungry, I think, will beat out talent.
Right.
You know?
Right. Yeah. And hard work always beats it out.
Hard work. Exactly.
How we looking?
That one stopped already. Where was your first stage that you hit then, besides the one you made?
You know, after that it was Second Stage Theater in Santa Ana.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Right on.
And that was more of like a, what do you call it? Like, what do those guys do? Improv groups.
Oh, yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
But they had a comedy show every Friday night. So I was going there for the first month of my career. And I was bombing every Friday night.
Wow.
Like 1, 2, 3, every Friday night. And then the fourth Friday night, I came back and I learned my material like I was supposed to, you know? And I came back and I killed it, man. And there were other bookers for other rooms in Orange County there, and they're like, can you come do my room? Because they thought I was good.
Yeah.
But I just learned my short 7-minute set. That's all I had,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
And I was like, yeah, I could come. And it felt legit, all of it. And I just went with the program. And quite frankly, I was killing it ever since. Like,
Nice.
I mean, sure, I had my nights where, you know, the dynamics weren't good in the room or whatever.
Yeah.
Every comedian goes through
Yeah.
that shit, you know?
Sure.
But, like, when it was good,
Yeah.
it was like when I came in and killing it. And then when Jeff Jenna, 6 months came up,
Yeah.
I came back, right? I called him. I said, Jeff, you said I could come back in 6 months. I've been working on my act. He said, okay. And he gave me like a 7-minute spot. Perfect, because that's all I had.
Yeah.
You know? And I came back and I killed it.
Wow.
Dude, it was just the opposite of my first experience there.
Wow.
And then I knew I did because after my set, I was sitting in the audience watching the other comedians next to my friends and family that I invited. Yeah. And I turned and I looked around over my shoulder and I saw Jeff Jenna, and he was looking at me and he's all, he just put 2 thumbs up and he's smiling, and I was all, dang, that's rad.
That's awesome.
And I really just felt like, hey, I'm here.
Yeah.
I'm going to stay.
Yeah.
This is it, dude. And I became a regular down there at the Improv. And then I started making my way into LA, you know, but then, you know, just life when you're an open micer, you know, nothing's real solid for you.
Yeah.
So you're still looking, you're just hungry. You're like a
Yeah.
wolf,
Oh,
you
yeah.
know,
Yeah.
like, and the prize is killing it.
Yeah.
That's the prize.
Yeah.
You know, walking off stage and having some prestige,
Yeah.
you know? I mean, like, because that feeling of rejection is the worst.
Yeah.
And
Worst
I wasn't
thing
feeling that no
Yeah.
more. You know, not a lot. Like,
Yeah.
my batting average was going up.
Oh, okay.
You know? Yeah.
Wow.
It was real fun, man.
Yeah.
That's a real exciting part of life right
Yeah.
there. Especially because I knew comedy was going to be my life.
Yeah.
Like, I hear a lot of comedians are like, well, you know, like, I do this job and I'm not, you know, I'm just trying it out.
Yeah.
It's like hobby, you know?
Right.
It's like, I hate hobby comedians, bro. I hate them with the passion because they take up our time. You know what I'm saying? Get out of here, kid. Like, we're here to do business.
Right.
Yeah.
No, because that goes against what we were saying, that what it takes to be successful, and that's hard work and persistence.
Right.
So these hobbyists, you know what I mean? They're here today and gone tomorrow, and you need to be in here because this takes years to get good at.
Yes.
So stop wasting our freaking time.
Yeah. And it's so true.
Yeah.
But then you need those hobbyists to show up in LA because they're usually bringing the whole audience, and you didn't bring nobody.
Those bringer shows.
Right?
Yeah.
Well, I hate those. But we still got to do them, you know? I mean, like, I think there's still, because one night, it was when Chris Rock was doing the Oscars. He was hosting, right?
Yeah.
A few years back. And I was at the store, and I was walking in through the main entrance going up the stairs, and Chris Rock's coming down the stairs.
Yeah.
And I've never seen Chris Rock before, like in person.
Yeah.
You know? I got starstruck, bro.
Yeah.
Like, I looked out, I was like, and he's looking at me like, you know, his Chris Rock eyes, you know, and he's like looking at me like, that's an Indian. Like, I kind of read his mind a little, you know what I'm saying? And I was just like,
right.
And I watched him walk. Like, I was going to say hi or something, but I was too scared. I don't know what happened. And then I was like, why is Chris Rock here? But, like, I saw him go and he passed me, so I missed that moment. But that's okay. You know, like, I was in the presence of greatness. That's all that was. And then I remembered he was hosting the Oscars.
Yeah.
He was there working on his act that night. So I'm up in there, I'm watching all the rest of the comedians, like, you know, they're blowing or whatever. And then Chris Rock comes back in the room. And I was about to leave.
Yeah.
And I saw him come back in. I was like, oh. I went back in and I sat down, dude. And Chris Rock hit the stage. And he started working on a set that he was going to do on the Oscars.
Yeah.
And he looked like a rookie up there.
Right.
But he had people planted in the audience that were feeding him his punchlines and stuff, right?
Wow. Yeah.
But the room got so packed, right?
Yeah.
And we're all watching him work out, you know? And it's at that point I realized, like, we still have to come out and work out our shit and get humble up here at some point, you know?
Oh, at some point, all the time.
Yeah.
It's a ongoing thing, and like somebody like Chris Rock, that people are just expect to be funny. You know, you probably saw him and just expected to start laughing right away, and that's how most people are. But they don't realize that, you know, you got to start at the bottom, and like you're just as funny as your last joke. And you can't repeat jokes to people that already heard them,
Right?
Because they're done, they're wasted, they're done with, you know. So it's an ongoing process. I remember seeing Damon Wayans, you know, senior, work out stuff at the Ha Ha Comedy Club.
Me too.
Yeah, and this dude, he was like, I honestly never saw the Damon Wayans that you would see on Death Jam or any of that. I didn't get to see that, and you know, it's disappointing because like you're like, damn, I just want to see that guy. But as a stand-up comedian, it's inspiring, and it was motivating to see, you know, the craft of stand-up, and you know what it takes for a joke to be worked and worked until it's like a shiny, you know, diamond or emerald or something super expensive.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But you know, you're shining that turd, and to see that become like something that you're being paid for by a big network, you know, to perform, it's like unbelievable.
Yeah, and one time I was sitting next to Damon, you know, at the at the old remember?
Yeah.
They had those round tables in the back, you know, about this height.
Yeah.
And he was sitting on this side, I was sitting on this side, and they had those black tablecloths and little candles and whatever. And somebody sat there earlier because there was still the empty glass there and stuff. And we were just sitting there, you know, waiting. I think maybe I was just hanging out, and he went on after that. But while we're sitting there, somehow we didn't touch nothing or do nothing. The tablecloth just slid off and the glass broke on the ground. And I think it was with Christina or whoever. Somebody came and cleaned it up and like looked at us mean, kind of.
Yeah.
And Damon's like, that was him.
Yeah.
And I just thought that was like, that's the Damon we know.
Yeah.
You know, like he's like, oh, hey man, or however he says it. You know, it was so funny. Like, to me, that was one of the Chris Rock moments that I always cherish, even though I didn't even talk to Chris Rock. But like, yeah. And I try not to get starstruck with people, and that was one of those moments with him. Yeah. So I wasn't like, hey, you know, like, can I get a picture and stuff? Because I hate that when people do that to me, you know. But you have to honor it, you know, because your fans pay your bills, bro.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh,
so,
totally.
And that's how I feel about it. And I just seen like all these people like Damon going up there and working out there, like you're saying, the craft of it. And I like how you said that, because it really is. And the more hours you put in. And then as today, you know, like I'm not young like I used to be back then, like that lion, you know, that young lion, you know, I'm like one of those older, you know, Mufasa type or Simba, you know, when he gets older and stuff, you know, I'm like that, bro, you know, and it's more delicate at that point, you know, I mean, you're not starving for it, you know, it's like you're getting fed no matter what, you know, and that's what I recognize in them now today. Versus back then when I saw them, was like, shouldn't they be up there doing bigger and blacker right now? You know, like, nah. It's like they're working it. Right. You're in the process with them. Right. You know, and
they're not getting paid. Right.
They're not getting paid.
You know, why would they
this
do
ain't
that?
the main gig. Nah.
You know, Chris Rock didn't go to the store to to get paid. He went there to work out his jokes for the Oscars.
Right.
He didn't
right.
go there for a paycheck.
Right.
You know, and if they did pay him, it would have been $15.
Yeah.
Because that was what they paid during the week. You know, for a set over there.
You'll be lucky if you get anything in LA for pay.
Yeah.
You know, I used to get a little at the haha though.
Yeah.
I have to admit that I'd probably get like $20 every time I showed up because like, you know, Terry, she's not giving people money, bro. But she handed me $20 like here and there, you know, and I'm like, wow, you know, like, but I don't even think like. Maybe you got more. I don't know.
No. I was there so I wouldn't have to do bringer shows.
Oh, yeah.
That's why I was there.
Yeah.
I was making money doing commercials and doing acting work. So I went to auditions during the day and I was at the haha at night.
Right.
So because I started acting first.
Oh,
you know?
okay.
Yeah.
All right.
My brother's an actor and he steered me in the right direction. So
I think that is too, by the way.
What?
Acting.
Oh, yeah.
Because you get that national spot.
Yeah.
Boom.
Oh, yeah.
Guess what? You're a comedian?
Yeah.
Oh, we want you at our club.
Yeah.
You're getting paid, bro.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, totally. There was a lot of actors that were like, why not? I'll try stand up. And just because like they have notoriety and people have seen them on commercials or something like that. And you had a lot of those people taking up stage time too.
Yeah. And I just think like a huge part of making it is like commitment.
Yeah.
It's like even on stage, you're going to tell a joke. Let me hear it.
Yeah.
Let me hear it from the bottom of your heart because
Right.
that's where it's coming from.
Yeah.
You know, like from deep.
Yeah.
You know, if you can deliver that part of it, you know, then you got them.
Yeah.
You got like, and I'm a big fan of yours.
Thank
like,
you, brother.
Everybody
Likewise.
at the haha, I'm a big fan of Eric,
Yeah.
Griffin, so
Jeff
many.
Garcia.
Jeff.
Yeah.
You know what? What was the biggest compliment I ever got from Jeff? The first time he hosted a show, supposedly he was recording, you know, and we got to be a part of it. Remember that?
Yeah.
And he was
I
hosting
think it's
it.
on YouTube. You can check
Is
out.
it?
Yeah.
Wow, I haven't seen it
Yeah,
yet.
yeah.
But I was on that, and he introduced me. I don't know how he introduced me, but remember you come from that corner?
Yeah.
I mean, you come from behind the curtain.
Yeah.
From the lobby area.
Yeah.
You come from behind the curtain when you get introduced and you go
Yeah.
up, right? And then I go up and then I totally kill it, dude. Like, cause I'm the pro, dude.
Yeah.
You know, I'm ready.
Yeah.
I go up and I nail it so hard, bro. And then Jeff goes back up after I'm done and he comes back and I'm out on the patio chilling. He's like, dude, you totally killed it. Oh, like,
Yeah.
I remember that hype from him, dude. And that's the kind of shit that kept me going, you know, that kept me fed, bro.
Sure.
Like when your peers and
Oh, yeah.
Jeff Garcia, I mean, he's a legend.
Yeah.
He really is,
Yeah.
dude. And when I heard that from him, I was like, man, that's so good.
Yeah.
Thank you. Like, I didn't let him know because I was being cool about
Right,
it. But
yeah,
I was like, yeah, I really like that, Jeff. Thank you so much, man.
Yeah.
And I'll never forget that, dude. But like that, I just don't think people really, like, when you see comedians, you know, you don't know what we're going through.
Right.
You know?
Oh, yeah.
And we'll bring our emotion up there.
Absolutely.
And I think that's a lot where the comedy comes from is
Yeah.
like our raw emotion is
Right.
like what did we go through that day,
Right.
you know?
Yeah.
And I remember my manager fired me.
Wow.
My manager fired me,
Wow.
you know? And I was like, I'm supposed to fire you, bro. You know?
That's painful. I had an agent too, drop me too because I wasn't producing as much as they wanted me to, you know, and and it's funny because like they found me at a stand up show, and so they emailed me, hey, you want representation and this and that, and I talked to them and then I eventually got with them, but they had a lot of like regulars. Like they have like that girl Flo from Progressive.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So she's bringing in like
Yeah.
big, like all their clients were like people like Flo.
Right,
Like
right,
big, like they
right.
get national campaigns for years.
Exactly.
They're bringing in millions on like commercials. They're just
Right.
crushing it like that. And so, yeah, no, it's like it's a constant no, we're being told, and
Right.
constant rejection, and it doesn't feel good at all. But, that's what makes us stronger than any other people in show business.
And so that's why after like you're there, like after you got some notoriety and you got a following and people are excited about you and stuff. After you got that far, then that's what makes it all worth it, because you look back and you say, man, like all the landmines I had to get through to get here today. And I don't take it for granted. Even still today, like through the pandemic, I'm just like, I'm having all these flashbacks or memories of our nostalgia of going through what we're talking about. And I'm like, I remember this, I remember that. And it's getting me more hungry.
Yeah.
And so that's where I am now.
Yeah.
We haven't been doing stand-up as much as we like to or would like to have, but over the past few years. But now, like, I'm hungry for it again. Like, I needed this break.
Nice.
Like, it was a reset.
Yeah. Same here. I was getting burnt out before the pandemic happened.
Right.
So it was
I was talking about burnout earlier.
Yeah.
To your girlfriend.
Oh, okay.
And I was like, I got burnt out.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like it just,
Yeah.
I don't know if every comedian goes through that, because I don't ask people, are you burnt out?
Yeah. Yeah.
We don't do that.
Yeah. Right. Yeah.
But you got burnt out.
I was burnt out, dude. Yeah.
I believe it, and I did too.
Yeah.
Like you can only handle so much in the spotlight.
Yeah.
And then after a while, you have to, people have to start respecting your privacy on some level.
Yeah.
I mean, you have to. Mm-hmm. And that's how I felt. Like, people were handing me their babies. I mean,
yeah,
girls were grabbing my dick. I mean, not that I don't mind that or anything like that, but it's like, come on, man.
Yeah.
Like, I even felt like I'm glad they didn't have COVID back then, because, like, like they're all touching you.
Yeah. Yeah.
And everywhere you go, they're just like touching you, you
Yeah.
know? And I'm not uber famous, but I'm famous in my niche. You know what I'm saying? And so my niche was there, and they were loving me and putting love on me, in which that's why we do this.
Yeah.
But at some point it becomes like, hold on. And that's why I'm living in Orange County. Like, nobody knows where I live. And like when I first started going out with my girlfriend I recently broke up with, we won't mention names. She's like, I thought when I first went out with you, you were going to take me back to the res, and there's going to be kids and dust everywhere and stuff. And I took her to Orange County. I got a pool, all this. And she's like, oh, it's like different, you know? She says, well, I was prepared for the res. And I just think that's funny, dude, because like people put labels on people, you know? And they don't know where we've been. They don't know what we did. They don't know we've been tested in the fire, you know?
Yeah.
And came out, and we're pure gold.
Yeah, for sure.
It's great, man. Comedy is just such a great lifestyle, and I don't regret one moment. No, even the bombings and all that. Like, it was good back then. I'm sure I have much more to experience in the future.
Absolutely.
And my dreams are bigger than, I can't even talk about it, because that's how big they are.
I love it.
You know,
It's very
and I'm
inspiring.
gonna do it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I love it.
I hope to see you there.
Yeah,
You know,
will.
at the top again, all of us, dude.
Yeah.
Hey, guess who I ran into? I'm hiking in Griffith Park. Darren Carter, the party starter.
Oh, nice.
Man,
Yeah.
dude, I'm
Mr.
like
Fit
hiking
now.
up. Yeah. Do you see this guy? He's
Yeah.
like, I'm middle aged. I'm working out. And I'm like, I am too. And I see him coming towards me. I'm like, hey. He probably thinks I just came across the border illegally, you know? I'm like, hey. And he's like, and I get close. I'm like, Darren. He's like, oh, hey, man, how you doing? You know, like, he kind of always reminds me of Mickey Mouse character a little bit. Just like how Mickey Mouse, like, was, like, so on.
Yeah.
And anyhow, I'm like, dude, and we had a little conversation like this, a micro conversation like this right there. Like, well, how the pandemic affect us and what we're doing now, and are you doing gigs and stuff like that, you know, right up there on up on the hike. And it was so cool, and I got my selfie with him up there, and like it was just so cool because Darren Carter, the party starter. And then my ex, I told her that story, and she's like, she's a Darren Carter, the hiking partner. So I thought that was a cool joke. But yeah, Darren Carter, I saw him up there. He says, I'm doing a show at the Ha tonight. You want to come by? He said, they usually put me up late. So I said, I'll be there, but I wasn't. You know how that goes.
Yeah. You know, I avoided dating another comedian, you know, because it was just too close to home. Yeah.
Good job.
So that leads me to my question, because your ex was a stand-up comedian.
She is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And how was that? Like, what was that like?
I mean, you ever see two bulls lock horns? You know, like you ever see two rams just really hit each other on the head together? That's how it is, bro.
Yeah.
Like that's the short in a nutshell version, you know?
Yeah.
Because it's like, even though like I have all my accolades, right?
Yeah.
She does in her mind too.
Yeah, sure.
And for us guys, there's something in us. Maybe it's just me. I won't say everybody, but it's like, hey, like, I don't know who you are. I didn't know who you were before I met you type thing.
Yeah.
Like, you should be worshiping the ground I walk on.
Yeah.
And it becomes something like that, like this ego thing.
Yeah.
You know? And even though she respected what I did and where I came from and all that, like, and my comedy, like, she was still trying to make her bones, you know? And, you know, and that's how it goes. It's like, and then when they're pretty, like, then they got that going for them, and you can't really say nothing because, like, you're a dude, you know? But girls work their magic somehow to get where they're going to, you know?
Yeah.
And so it's just, when you're dating another comedian, you have to be confident in who you are.
Yeah.
You can't be some chum.
Right.
They'll run you over.
And they'll let you know.
Yeah, they'll let you know for sure. And even if you're confident, they'll still let you know.
Yeah, totally. Yeah, exactly.
So that's how that goes, bro. I wouldn't recommend it. Like if it was just a one night stand or whatever. Yeah, but like, I mean, you could do that with anybody. You know? You ain't gotta go there. But I really. It was just one of those things that it was a little bit of a chapter in my life right there. You know? And so I even proposed to her. Wow. I bought her a big fat ring and everything.
Wow.
Yeah. And then that's just life. I've been divorced twice, so it's not like that big of a deal, but you know what I'm saying? Like, yeah. So definitely comedy. that's why I can't really like commit to girls right now. Like, because I know that like if I get back on the road, like this is not gonna work out because like I've been married my whole adult life since I was 19.
Oh, okay.
Until I got divorced in 18.
Oh, wow.
And so I'm like, it's
Wait,
not
you
gonna-
said 19 and then you got divorced at 18.
wow. I was 19 years old and I got divorced in 2018.
Oh, I
That's-
see.
Sorry,
yeah,
I
yeah.
kind of mixed those. But yeah, no, I mean, so I'm single right now, you know.
So
I'm
wait,
gonna try to keep it that way.
So you've been married this whole time when I knew you?
Yeah,
Oh my God.
yeah. And you know what? I had a lot of girlfriends during that time too. Yeah, I'm a piece
you
of
said
shit,
it, not
bro.
me. I'm not gonna write you
Hey,
off.
nah, hey,
Yeah.
I ain't got nothing to hide now. I went through divorce already, bro. The house is gone, bro.
The house is gone. It's official.
Yeah. You know, I mean, that's comedy too. I'm trying to work it out, but
Yeah.
it's all new nowadays. The dating and
Yeah.
stuff, you know, like you get on a dating app,
And magic
like
happens.
you don't even know if they're real. You don't know if you're talking to a 400-pound man next door to you.
Yeah, it happens. It happens. Or that their pictures are like 10 years old.
Oh,
That's-
well, mine are 10 years old. I can't show them this body.
I can't show this body. Oh man, that's hilarious.
But that's what they do. I mean,
Yeah.
girls like almost have no qualms about that. Like they're gonna put up all the old shit.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
Because that's how they reel you in. They're
Yeah.
like, it's like casting a line out there.
Right.
Oh, got one.
Yeah. This is
You
what I
know?
looked like in my prime.
Oh, it's how I am now, though. Like, oh my. And that's the realness of it all. I mean, like, I don't like make fun of fat people.
Yeah.
But I had sex with one,
Oh, okay.
you know,
Yeah.
and it's really hard. Dude. Like that's a job, bro. Like I should have asked for some money for that one.
man.
But like, you know, it was her birthday.
Yeah.
And she had a cute face.
Yeah.
You know, that
Nice.
cute face does it.
Yeah.
I'm looking at the face. I'm like,
Yeah.
trying to imagine the body a little bit different. Oh my, she almost like, yeah. It didn't last long.
All right.
Because I was like, you know, I'm gonna give her the big Indian dick, you know. I'm gonna nail
chief.
her so hard with my totem pole, you know, and it just wasn't like that. Like she swallowed me up, bro.
So tell me about the Navy, man. You must have got tons of tail in there. Where were you stationed?
I first got stationed in Yokosuka, Japan, and I was on the USS Independence, which is an aircraft carrier, and yeah, there's all kinds of JNs everywhere. Like we were just like they would come to our club on the base and stuff, and I'll tell you the
They
truth.
could come on the base? Oh, well, yeah. Yeah, can
The
they come on?
JNs, yeah, the girls, they would come into the club, you know. I
Yeah.
don't know how they get in. I never even thought about that,
Yeah.
but I remember they would always be at our club on the base and stuff. But to tell you the truth, they're into black guys.
Really?
Yeah,
Wow.
they love black guys. the JNs, you know, the girls, they're just like Japanese nationals. That's what a JN is.
Okay.
Okay. I go in a club, I see all the black guys. I don't even care if he's short, whatever. He's black. He's got 2 girls. Boom, boom.
Wow.
You know, shit's going on, bro.
Yeah.
And I'm like, these guys, like, how? And I was 19. I was fresh off the reservation, so I didn't know nothing back then.
Uh-huh.
You know, I wasn't like so schooled as I am now.
Yeah.
But back then I saw all this and I was like, man, these girls love black guys over here, you know? Like,
Yeah.
And everything is so Americanized over there. They try to dress like us,
Yeah.
like listen to our music,
Yeah.
everything, you know?
Right.
It's what they do. But as I was sailing from country to country over there, like, there's girls everywhere.
Yeah.
And
Right.
Yeah. And when you pull in, they know you have money, because you've been out to sea.
Yeah.
Your money's going in the bank.
Right.
When you pull in, you have tons of money.
Yeah.
And you can do whatever you want. You can go party.
Yeah.
Do your thing. One time I was in Tokyo. It's a district called Roppongi. And me and my boys, we went up there on the train. It's a 3-hour train ride from Yokosuka. And we get on the train. But we go on base to the store and buy a bunch of beer and put it in our backpacks.
Yeah.
So while we're on the train, we're all drinking.
Yeah,
When we
nice.
get there, we're already ready to go,
Yeah.
And yeah. So I'm in this one club. It's like a reggae club.
Uh-huh.
And all the JNs there are all speaking like whatever reggae talk is. What is that? Reggaeton
Jamaican?
or something like that? Yeah, right?
Reggaeton.
I don't know what it is. Bro,
What are you doing?
I see them with all their dreadlocks and all that. I honestly thought they were like, Jamaican, but they were JNs. Oh my. I see all these subwoofers on the wall, like,
Yeah.
right? And all of a sudden, bro, I lost all my boys. I'm sitting there. I have one JN on this side, one on this side. Like, I'm making a whole booth of them laugh in front of me. I don't even speak Japanese.
Yeah.
I speak funnies, And so I'm sitting there, all of them laughing, bro. And they don't understand me. I don't understand them, but comedy's a language,
Yeah.
bro. Yeah, that's Roppongi right there. And that's an international district. So people from all over the world come there, like, to do their thing.
Wow.
Just like how they come to New York or LA or Seattle or wherever, Chicago, wherever it's going on. And they come to Tokyo. So you'll meet all kinds of people from all over the world there. And it's just, I remember seeing my first one-man band there. You see that guy? He's got the bass drum on his back. He's got fucking cymbals. He's got fucking fireworks spinning. Ding, ding, ding.
He's crushing it.
Yeah, man. And I feel like Forrest Gump on some level, Like, I came from small town USA and I've seen so many and I've been a part of big time things.
Yeah.
And I shouldn't be there, but I am. That's Forrest Gump. I just ate at Bubba Gump's the other day, yesterday, actually.
Kind of
I got the jambalaya.
Jambalaya. Yeah, buddy.
What's wrong with you, bro? What the heck?
Yeah, you better get some culture. Build that character up.
Did you stay in Japan most of your stay over there?
No, I was there for a year.
And then where'd you go?
I went to the Persian Gulf. I came back.
Uh-huh.
And Persian Gulf ain't no small deal, bro.
Yeah.
It's like, you go there. When I went there, it was on fire, literally. You could see the fires because Saddam Hussein, like, lit everything on fire.
I remember
all
that.
the oil wells, it was black smoke
Seen that
everywhere.
on TV.
So I was there.
That's
And
wild.
That was in 95. I went back in 96.
Oh, wow. Jeez.
And 98.
Oh, jeez.
98 was when Clinton and Monica Lewinsky had their deal.
Yeah.
So here we are. We're like
Yeah.
there because Clinton was about to get impeached or
Yeah.
something.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
so he sent us to war, right?
Ah,
and so
to
we're
distract.
bombing them.
Yeah.
We're bombing the shit out of Iraq, bro.
Oh.
And I'm launching the planes that are doing the bombing. But
Right. There. So, like, how far off of, like, the coast are you?
probably, 20 to 50 miles.
Oh, yeah.
I could literally see the coast. Like, I could see the oil wells burning, and we're there. We're just killing it, literally.
Yeah.
Bro. And I ran the catapult. I ran the whole crew. I was responsible for the maintenance on that catapult, and I was literally hooking up the jet, fully loaded, bombs, fuel, missiles,
Jesus.
guns, everything,
Wow.
and all day, every day, all day long, bro. Like, so I got that warriorness in me too, you know, and I'm a patriot.
Yeah. Well, thank you for your service.
You're welcome, man. Back then we were kids, though.
Yeah.
You know, so like I never understood it on the level that I understand it today. You know,
Yeah.
because, but Saddam Hussein was a dictator, a real dictator.
Yeah.
Bro, he was a real dick.
Yeah.
Oh shit. Here we go again.
Oh, he messed that one.
Yeah.
No, but I don't really regret it because I was a kid.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
And I just knew I was gung ho. I
Yeah.
just knew I was kicking a lot of ass.
Right.
And who can do that? Who can say that? You know? So it was the best feeling.
And you're getting paid.
Well, you don't get paid that much. You pay your own salary because you work for the government. And the government pays us, so we're paying ourselves.
Ooh.
You know,
Never
and
thought of
not
that.
very much money either.
Yeah.
But I was there. I'd done that, and I had all those experiences there. And in 2008, so I got out in 1999. 2008, I was back there doing comedy in Iraq.
In 2008?
Yeah, I went to do comedy for the troops for 10 days in the Middle East and in Iraq. So each day we're at different forward operating base. And so by then we were training the Iraqi troops, you know, how to fight. So now I'm flying into a base and we have Iraqi troops greeting us. And I'm like, 10 years ago, I was bombing you. Now you guys are greeting us. It's really weird, dude. But I was there supporting the troops, and, you know, I'm glad we got Saddam finally, and I'm glad that, like, we were there because the people there really are poor. They don't really have a say. They're not like us where, you know, we could do whatever we want. And it's liberty and justice for all.
Yeah.
All. That word all means them too.
Yeah, yeah.
So when we're there, we remember our oath. We remember why we're there. We're there to liberate. You know, we're not here to like, and that's what us soldiers, we all think that. We all think, hey, we're on a mission, man. These are bad people. And they are. There's really bad people on there, and they don't show you them because they can't, because they'll scare the shit out of you.
Yeah.
You know, like war is real.
Yeah.
And to be there in Iraq, flying around all over Iraq, northern Iraq, eastern Iraq, western, Baghdad.
Yeah.
Like I performed in Saddam Hussein's, one of his theaters in Baghdad. Yeah.
That's wild, dude.
And I was just like killing it in front of
nice?
1,000 soldiers, bro. Yeah. It's fun. It's like marble.
Yeah.
Like, because he was like Al Pacino.
Yeah.
You know, I noticed your picture
Like
back
that.
there.
Yeah, yeah.
You know, so that's a good reference
Right.
because that was one of his favorite movies. Did you know that?
No, I didn't know
Saddam
that.
Hussein, this is who this guy is, man. He's
wow.
an egomaniac. And so I'm backstage and there's marble everywhere, the furniture. Like, basically, we took that shit over, right? And there's 1,000 troops out there, dude. And I'm backstage and I'm like looking around, you know? And finally I get out there on stage and 1,000 troops, bro, right in Baghdad, Iraq. And I was like, any natives out there? You know? And because there's native soldiers. And they're like, yeah, they're way up in the balcony. I said, come down here. in the front row. I got some seats for you. Dude, all these natives came down in the front row and sat
I would
in
have
the
said,
front
I'm
row.
Native. I'm getting in the front, man.
Yeah,
Is he
so
giving out money or what?
I mean, the pay wasn't that good. You don't do that for the pay, you know? I mean, you do, but it's like, $100 a day or whatever. So it's not really that much. They take care of you. They VIP you everywhere. They do your laundry. They return it to you folded, pressed, whatever. But you're there to honor the troops that are, missing home.
Yeah.
Kind of like Bob Hope shit.
You were one of them.
And I was one of them before, and that's what
wild,
made it
dude.
So cool.
Yeah.
They
must have loved you, dude. Not only because you're hilarious, bro, but because you know the experience. I could go there and I could crush, but then to have someone go there and crush, which I know you did, you probably did really well and made them laugh. But you were also one of them, bro, and you were there years before that. That must have been wild.
That's right, and it's really good to go and give back,
Yeah.
because these guys are sleeping with their rifles.
Wow.
They're like shitting with
Yeah.
their rifles. They're showering with their rifles.
Wow.
They do everything with their rifles because they're in a war zone. And I mean,
In 2008?
I remember I pulled in. This was this was in 2008. Was it there? 2009, and could have been 2008.
It's the same thing.
Either
8
way,
or 9, yeah.
I mean, either way, and I remember we're flying in on these helicopters. They're Ospreys, They're the cool ones that turn into planes when they take off.
Yeah, wow.
So we're pulling in on one of those, and we get off, and they're like, send us towards the chow hall. And when we get in line at the chow hall, and everybody knows we're there.
Yeah.
Like the whole base knows we're there because they saw the Ospreys drop us off,
Yeah.
right? We
yeah.
get off with our suitcases,
Yeah.
like so cheesy, bro. But they check us into our quarters, and they're like, there's the chow hall, go eat chow. One of the coolest experiences I saw was on the wall where they had all the soldiers that died in combat written in red, like blood on the wall. Just like officers enlisted, like they're all on the wall. And then when you look at that, you think, that's a real person. That's a real person. That's a real person,
Yeah. Yeah.
And you're just looking at it, and it's just like so surreal. And it's like a Forrest Gump moment,
Yeah.
And I always like to say it like that because, whenever I watch Forrest Gump, I'm like, dude, that guy been everywhere. He's seen and met so many people. Like, you wouldn't believe his story, But I felt like that was my life. And I look at those names on the wall, and I'm like, those guys paid for it.
Yeah.
They paid the ultimate sacrifice, They ain't coming home.
Yeah.
They come home in a box
Yeah,
or
yeah.
whatever, but
Yeah.
it's heavy. So, you carry a lot of that with you throughout your life. I know I still carry it with me. I think about the people we blew up all the time. Like, that affects you, and I think it comes out on stage sometimes, and sometimes not always in a funny way, So it gets deep. It really gets deep. And
Yeah.
I think about the troops
Well,
all the time.
I'm sure. Like when it comes off on stage, right? So it's super raw, right? You just
Right.
say it, right? Because we're comedians and we don't have a filter. And if you're on stage and you just say it, it's because you're not filtering yourself. You're just like, yeah, this, because you don't know when the next joke is coming. You know what I mean? Like we're writing on stage. People
Yes.
don't realize that. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? So.
Yeah.
If something comes off that's not so funny, well, it's not that we want to be funny, but we're just like getting it out of our head,
Right.
and we're putting words into it. So, now I know what you're saying. Like, I've said plenty of things that, I wanted to work out that didn't come out funny at all.
Didn't come out that way.
Yeah. So, I mean,
it almost comes out angry
yeah.
because people can't comprehend unless you saw it, unless you've been there, So I say active duty, I was in the Persian Gulf 3 times. But as a civilian, I was there for the 4th time. So I've been there 4 times.
Yeah.
Like, who's been there once?
Right.
Not
me.
And that's what I'm saying. It's like, and I always think, I believe in God. So I'm like, God, why'd you send me there so many times? Like, why did I go through all that? And I think it's because of moments like today, like we get to share these experiences with people who haven't been there, who haven't done that, who maybe are thinking about going there and doing that, or starting a career in entertainment, or whatever it is. But you just have to have balls, and you have to have great balls of fire, And that's earned. That is earned. You just can't wake up and say, I'm going to have great balls of fire today. Nah, you can't do that. It's not the way the world works.
Right,
I
right.
wish it was.
Yeah.
But I wish I could wake up today and say, I'm so confident.
Right.
But I'm not.
Yeah.
But it's earned.
Yeah.
And that's how we always earn it. John Wooden said that. He's confidence is earned. And he's the coach of UCLA back in the day.
Yeah.
Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, they all learned from him, and they all became great.
So did you try to work out like some bits about you being in the military and you being in Iraq and stuff like that, or?
I haven't really. I've touched on it, and it was jokey joke.
Mm-hmm.
It was like,
yeah.
Hey, why'd you join the military? They took your land,
Yeah.
And it's like, well, I wanted to join the Indian Navy, but they only had 10 canoes, and it was Lake Sakakawea.
Oh, dude.
So,
Funny.
but like that's why,
Well, I think that's it first starts jokey, maybe hacky at first, because that's such a serious subject, bro, and that like you got to start like that, I have jokes like that too, just like being a Mexican and like having racial discrimination and stuff like that. It starts jokey, bro, and like this and that. But like if you keep peeling that onion,
right,
there's like serious shit.
I like that.
Yeah,
I like that. I never really thought of it like that. And
it's always like that, bro. It's with stand up comedy, it's a huge onion, bro, that just needs to be peeled, and you're just like this and that. I don't know if you know a Korean comedian by the name of Kevin Shea.
Oh no!
He used to go to the Haha, and he also
was he a youngster?
Yeah, no,
maybe.
He was a headliner. He was Asian, but he wasn't an Asian comic really because he was adopted by white people.
Right.
So he grew up in Connecticut by white people. You know what I mean? So
lucky guy.
Yeah. So yeah, he looked, completely Asian. But he had really great jokes, man, and he reminds me a lot about you too because he talks at his own pace.
Right.
He doesn't hurry up for nobody. He talks very selective. His tone is selective. His pace is selective. It's not rapid. It's not like that. He's a storyteller. He's like even one of those stand-ups that sits down.
Right.
That's what he do.
Yeah.
He'd go up to the mic, sit down his scotch, on the stool, and sit down, and then he would talk, and he was just like one of those dudes that like he was a storyteller, but he was funny as fuck, and he still is funny as fuck. He's out there, Kevin Shea, check him out. Anyhow, he said something to me that stayed with me. He must have told me maybe 2005. And stayed with me to this day. That's why I love being at the Haha. being around these fucking monsters, these beasts of comedy that drop little fucking drops of knowledge to you and say, here, kid, here's a bomb of knowledge. And if you could wrap your brain around this, this thing is the key to comedy or key to life. If you just wrap your brain around what I just said to you, you know what I mean?
Yes.
And there's certain things. But he always said, if you ask yourself why are you saying this? Why are you saying this? And you just peel that onion. Why are you saying it? You get to the funny and you get to the raw thing of what you're truly saying. You know what I mean? That's why our jokes start, jokey,
yeah,
and hacky,
yeah,
and this and that. But we're just throwing the ball out. It's just test the waters kind of in a way of stand-up comedians. But what we're really saying is if what's underneath that in that layer.
It's real deep.
Yeah, it's deep.
Yeah.
It's deep as fuck. But that's the thing. Like, you throw it out there, and like the thing is, like, I wrestled with this, all the time because I had all this stage time working at the Haha, right? But technically not working because I wasn't getting paid. You know what I mean? I was doing it for the stage time, right? So I was like, okay, I'm getting all this stage time DJing and being there, helping around, getting it in exchange for the stage time because I didn't want to do bringer shows.
Right.
So how can I utilize this my time on this stage as much as I can? And I got so much stage time, JR, that, like, there was a very experimental
stage,
sets
right?
that I had. There was, because like I wasn't gonna do what I just did, because I would get up 2 times a night, sometimes 3 times a night at the Haha, because they would have multiple shows, right? I would get up for the open mic, and I would get up for the late show.
I love it. Do it.
Do it. Yeah.
Oh, fuck, dude.
Well, I crushed it when I wanted to. I knew exactly what to do.
I
man.
watched
Thank
you, bro.
Yeah.
Every fucking time I went there, you were up there, and I was like, this motherfucker is a star.
Yeah,
dude.
thank you. I met a lot of, like, dude, Judd from the Breakfast Club.
Right.
Yeah, dude. Judd, like fucking the criminal. Right? They had the jock and the Barbie, or like the famous girl, or like the popular girl.
Introvert.
An introvert. Yeah. He was a criminal. And he came up to me after my set. He's like, you're so funny, man. You're so funny. He's like, you keep doing this, man. You're so funny.
You know, one of those gems, because what you're saying about like how when people come up to you, I mean, like well-known people, people were famous way before us, and I just forgot what I was gonna say. But
well, you're talking about like this when they drop a gem,
drop
of
the
knowledge.
bomb on me,
These
I forgot the
famous people.
gem.
Yeah,
I forgot the gem, but it's always in my heart, and. It's those gems that get us through, because we'll go home and we'll contemplate on them, and we'll see how it goes. But funny, this is the gem. Funny can't hide. Funny can't hide. That's the gem. And I probably heard that from Charlie Hill because I hung out so much with him and he was my mentor. And Mitzi Shore loved him. Like, Mitzi Shore didn't give a fuck about me, bro. You know what I'm saying? So if Mitzi Shore gave a fuck about you, you were somebody, right?
Yeah.
And she loved Charlie, and he said, funny can't hide. So I knew that, like, as long as I was funny, like, I was going to be relevant. I was going to be in the forefront. Because if you're not funny, you can hide, right?
Yeah. Well, people want you to disappear.
Like, get the fuck out of here, kid. Yeah, and that's how I look at it. Still today, I tell people, funny can't hide. If you're funny, I'm sorry, you're gonna get there. You're gonna be famous. You're gonna crush it.
Well, yes and no. I mean, we both know that people, especially I don't know who exactly it was, but this was a gem. Early too. It's like, that it's not the talent that gets famous. It's not that person. It's show business, right?
Right.
And one thing that Jeff always instilled in me and everybody, he would give that gem out to anybody that was listening. Because I remember he 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 would walk up, and you know how they had the patio right there in the front, so it was outside, right?
On the sidewalk,
Yeah,
basically.
before you go inside,
Right.
right? So Chris D'Elia was out there writing his jokes in his set, and then Jeff rolls up. He's like, "Hey, what's up, man? What are you doing, man?" He's like, "Oh, yeah, I'm writing out some jokes." He's like, "Oh, you better be writing out your business plan." And because he was a big component of that, because us as stand-ups, we're all worried about our set and our jokes per minute and how long our jokes are, what this and that. He's like, "Motherfucker, you better fucking get a hold of this business part of this
First.
fucking show business,
Right.
or else you're gonna go broke."
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so he was always like, "Dude, get your merch." I'm like, "Bro, I'm like 2 years in, man. Who wants to buy merch from me?" I'm like, what do I know? Because I went on tour with them like at 2.5 years in of my career.
How long did you tour with Jeff?
He's got a set time that he lets.
Isn't it like a year?
Year and a half?
Oh, is it a year and a half?
Yeah. It may be a year. He let me go maybe a little longer. A year and a half.
Yeah, I was a little bit different than Jeff. Like I still, like I told you, I already had the business plan in the beginning. I was already out there making money. I didn't need permission, But the people I brought with me is like, if you're cool with me, we're rolling. We're rolling. I wish I would have brought you.
Yeah,
we'll go in the future, and definitely, most definitely, because you know why.
Like to be able to have time to really express our thoughts,
Right. Right.
It's like,
And I think that's Joe Rogan's like success there.
I think so.
He doesn't rush it.
Right.
Like
Yeah.
he wants to hear you,
right.
but you're gonna hear him.
Yeah. Well, the thing is like, I think that's the downfall of like talk shows like that. Johnny Carson, those days are over, right?
Right. It's podcasts.
Yeah.
Because there's a flavor for everybody now.
Yeah.
You don't just have to like Leno,
Right.
Letterman.
Yeah.
You're gonna get your thing out of it, and that's about comedy. Is like listening to your mentors is a lot of it. We're talking about the gems and stuff, and definitely Jeff Garcia is definitely an influence on a lot of people, and he doesn't pull punches. He'll tell you what's up.
Right. Oh yeah.
And honestly, I like it fed to me like that.
Yeah.
I don't want people going easy on me,
Right.
bro.
No.
Like I give it to me. Don't pull punches with me.
Yeah. Yeah.
And we look at like all the legends in comedy.
Mm-hmm.
And I always mention Charlie Hill because that's who I most relate to. And he showed me a lot of the ropes. But he said one time he had a heart attack. He said, JR, I had a heart attack. And he said, I'm in the hospital and like nobody's visiting me. Like I'm there, after surgery and stuff. And he said, you know who came to visit me? David Letterman. He said, he walks in. He's like, hey, Charlie, how you doing? And Charlie's like looking at him. He's like, David. He said, hi, man. He said, Charlie, when I had my heart attack, nobody visited me. He said, he said, so I'm here. He said,
Wow.
and when you get out of here, Charlie, how about you come on my show and I'll give you a spot? Yeah. And he was like, really? He's all, yeah. He said, just make sure to pay it forward, you know? And I think Charlie paid it forward through me in some way, you know? And when Charlie got out of the hospital, he calls David up and he's like, hey, can I get that spot? So Charlie goes on David Letterman.
Really?
Bro, yeah.
No way. That's
That's
wild,
amazing.
bro.
Yeah.
That's wild.
And that's the stuff you learn in comedy. Like, you learn the backstories, the deep backstories, though. You know, like,
Yeah.
would you ever think David Letterman visited Charlie Hill after he
No.
had his heart attack? You wouldn't think of that. But those are the stories we glean,
Yeah.
you know? And that
But it
make
doesn't
us.
surprise me, bro. Like, you know, like, because, you know, David Letterman came up at the store around comedians.
Right.
He knows, you know, even though, you know, because he got success, you know, right off the bat, but he started out, you know, around comedians, dude, you know, Robin Williams, Jay Leno, all those people. So, bro, like, we're a select group of people that share this this lifestyle that no one would dare, like, you know, stay in if they weren't like a hardcore person, you know, with a big heart or a great person, you know, because you know, it's like we get rejected more than anyone else in show business. That's why when we finally do make it, we make more money than anybody in show business.
Look at all the comedians that are won the most Academy Awards. They're the big time storytelling comedians that just look at Robin Williams, man. That guy won Oscars, bro. And it was because he expressed himself so deeply all the time.
Because he took chances.
He took
'Cause
chances.
he bombed a lot. He
Oh, I'm
bombed all the
sure.
time.
Well, I heard bad stories about him too, and I get that. I mean, not just bombing, like,
Oh,
you know,
stealing jokes?
yeah, all
Yeah,
that,
yeah,
you
yeah.
know, like, I
Right.
heard all of it,
Yeah,
you know,
yeah.
but all at the same time, like, I mean, he's up there,
Yeah.
he's doing it,
Yeah,
you
yeah.
know, and I like that. I like that comedians can go deep, and when you put them on camera in a film, they'll take you there. And I just don't think that people who are trained as actors first can do that.
Yeah.
You know, they can't go that deep.
Nope.
And it becomes real deep at that point.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, what's your favorite Robin Williams movie?
Well, I liked Robin Williams in that one, Good Morning Vietnam.
That was great.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that was a good one.
That was really
because
good.
he became a really good character in that movie, and I'm military.
Yeah.
You know,
No, it
and
was
I can
great.
relate to it.
Yeah.
And it's like what we're doing right now. What you're doing
Yeah.
is like you're interviewing people, and you're like, "This is my voice,
Yeah.
and this is how I'm using it,
Right.
and I'm coming out,
Yeah.
man. It's great."
Yeah.
And we're digging to the heart of shit, you know, right now. But like, yeah, that movie always stands out for me with Robin Williams, and it was funny because that year was a hard year for me when Robin passed too, because Joan Rivers died and Charlie Hill, my mentor, died that year.
The same year?
Yeah,
Wow.
so it was hard on me. I like because Charlie Hill was one of my just best friends. I wish I knew him longer.
Yeah.
I only got to know him towards the end of his life, but at the peak of my career. And I felt like as a native comedian, he was passing the torch to me on that level. And because we were both on Showtime, at the beginning of your show tonight, you're playing a clip that Charlie Hill was on that show. That was him introducing me.
Oh, wow.
That was Charlie Hill introducing me.
That's wild.
The reservation sensation. That's him saying that about me. So Charlie is one of...
Was he the host of that show?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, because he's like the native godfather of comedy.
Oh, wow.
So...
And he was like best friends with Richard Pryor?
Yeah.
That's wild, dude.
Yeah. I mean, I have so many memories of him telling me about him and Richard, you know? And it's so cool just to be around. I would walk around the comedy store with him, and he would show me every picture on the wall and have a story about every picture, right?
I bet.
Right?
Yeah.
And I remember me and Charlie went down to Mel's on Sunset, right? Mel's Diner.
Yeah,
and
of course.
we sat at the back table. Like, you go in, you take a right, and all the way in the back by the bathroom, you take a right in the corner back there.
Yeah.
He said, this is where me and Richard Pryor always sat after our shows.
Wow.
We come here and we always sit here. So me and Charlie are sitting there. And Charlie said to me, didn't you have a brother who passed away? And I said, yeah. He said, my brother just passed away. Floyd Westerman. Do you know him? And I said, yeah. He said, that's my brother. He just passed away. Floyd Westerman was the Indian guy on The Doors, the movie. You know?
Really?
Remember in the Vision, the old Indian man?
What, Val Kilmer?
Yeah. That was Floyd Westerman, the Indian guy in Val Kilmer's Vision.
Iconic actor.
Yeah. And he said, that's my brother. He said he just passed away too. We're having this moment across the table, and he's like, he said, now you're my brother.
Oh,
and we just like shook on it.
damn.
So it was deep,
wild.
bro. Like, so I know I'm like, yeah, he's my mentor, but we had moments like that that were deep, like where I really felt like he knew he was going at some point. So he was trying to
pass
like
it?
really pass it.
Yeah,
you know?
right on.
And so I'm not really honoring that right now. Well, pandemic, that's a good excuse. But now I feel like I really have to like come hard on that.
Yeah.
know?
No,
So-
dude, I always give credit, bro, where credit is due, man. Like there was a lot of times where coming up, like when you were like this big, real small, I'm making a gesture of my fingers real small. We're small comedians. We're small people because we're just starting out. And then you're confronted and you meet and you're in the presence of greatness because they're greatness because they've already proven themselves. And this is Chris Rock walking down the stairs and there you are. You guys are meeting. You know what I mean? Like this is greatness. He already proved himself. You know? He hasn't. He's working out his Oscar bits, and he's yet to kill on the Oscars yet from that point. But he already made Bigger and Blacker. He made like all these legendary specials already. He proved himself already. He didn't need to do it. What he was doing was like icing on top of all the stuff he already did. You know what I mean? Kind of like your mentor. You know what I mean? He already proved himself. He was friends with Richard Pryor. He was a legend of legends, and he was giving back. And that's a wild and great thing, dude. And I never take that for granted. I know, and see a lot of stand-ups, they do that, bro. They pass it on, man, because they know how hard it is to be a stand-up, and for them to be at the bar with another stand-up comedian. That's where they want to be, even if he's an open micer, because guess what? He's got stuff to share with that guy. Yeah.
One thing about Charlie and after I got to know him, I was touring, so I was like this big shot too on my own level, So I had my thing going on, but like Charlie recognized that, and he's like, this guy has fight. And that's the word right there is fight. I said, the theme of the show is don't ever give up, right? And when I see Charlie, I saw him back at his home in Wisconsin. He's Oneida, and his dad was a big time like organizer for the tribe and a leader, and people looked up to Charlie Hill's dad, right? I think his name was Norbert Hill. I hope I didn't mess that up, but really I think his name is Norbert Hill. And got his sons into boxing. So we're talking about fight, right? And so Charlie Hill grew up as a boxer, fighting. You know what I'm saying? Like in the ring, mano, you know? He's just
his
like
face punched.
Yeah, right. Yeah. And so, but his dad gave him that, and his brother. And so when he comes to me and he's like teaching me these things about don't ever give up and stuff, like he's just hitting hard on it. And I look at that and I'm just like, man, like you have to literally, like at some point in your life, you have to be fighting. You have to have fight in you. You have to know what taking on an enemy is about. Like, and maybe in stand-up, maybe a lot of us did. Maybe a lot of us got picked on. Maybe a lot of us were getting punked as we were growing up. And we had to fight back. And we had to fight and literally punch people, you know? Wow. Just delivering it, and they hit the ground so hard because they met somebody that just wasn't going to take it no more. And I think that's a lot what comedy is when we go up there, we meet a lot of other comedians and we relate to them because they went through shit we went through, man. And I always tell even people today, I'm like, if anybody picks on you, you come get me. We're going to kick their ass. And that's how I look a lot about it. I hate bullies, bro.
I hate bullies too, man. I hate bullies too. Yeah, that's my biggest thing. But I think a lot the kinship that us stand-up comedians have is that we've been hit plenty of times. When you bomb, you're getting hit by whoever's in that room.
That's right.
So if there's 500 people in that room and you bomb,
you have to face them.
500 people hitting you in the face. You're not funny. You're not funny. You're not funny.
Right.
You're not making us laugh. You're not funny. So the respect that we have for each other is because we've been hit in the face. We know we've all bombed and it hurts, but we've got back on stage.
Right.
We got back on stage. And that's very admirable, you know. It's for a guy to bomb and like how you did on your first time. The first time I got on stage, it was so important that I crushed because I felt like if I didn't, I wasn't meant for this. So I respect you even more for getting on that stage the first time, bombing, and then still doing it. Because the first time I did it, I did well, you know, and that doesn't mean anything. That happens. Like sometimes the first time, the third time, it doesn't matter. Like it, you know, I got lucky or whatever, but, you know, I also took a class and I prepared, you know, my 7 minutes and I filled the room with a bunch of people that knew me. So that could have contributed to that for sure. So,
but that's smart.
Yeah.
That's just playing the game right, you know? Right, and I wish I would have did that, but then again, I don't. Because what if I didn't get knocked down at first and know that I had to get back up and just like, hey, you ain't getting me.
Right. No,
you're not going to keep me down.
Right. Yeah.
And it was in Orange County. They're all white.
Right.
They're all blonde hair, blue-eyed, German, American
It
people.
hurts even more. You
Yeah,
motherfuckers.
yeah.
You're getting back in your BMW, motherfuckers, after not laughing at my jokes, going back to your fucking mansion.
And the best part is coming back 6 months later and fucking killing it, like as a rook.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
And I was so rookie back then, but I learned quick.
Yeah.
And I'm a quick learner. And luckily I was young, just out of the Navy.
Yeah.
Still ready to learn and absorb it all.
Yeah.
It's just so amazing, man.
Yeah.
And I got to meet people like you. I got to meet people like
Likewise, bro.
like
Likewise.
Fraser Smith, right? Did you interview Fraser?
Not yet,
Oh.
but I saw him at the Haha Christmas party
I missed
in
that.
December, bro. Yeah, we missed you. And dude, Fraser, when I saw him, bro, he's the same guy, bro.
Same, he don't change.
Same guy, same nice guy, bro. Always paying a compliment, bro, right away. Like, just amazing, bro.
Really down to earth.
Amazing person,
Really down.
man.
Who's your favorite comedian?
I can't say, like, there's no favorite comedian. I don't have one favorite comedian.
Wow. It's hard to say, huh?
Yeah.
Especially when you're in the mix with them. Like,
Yeah.
literally.
Yeah.
You're passing them, you
Yeah.
know, in the hallway or whatever.
Yeah.
And that's really cool. But Frage is a legend. You know?
Legend. Yeah.
I love him so much, man.
Me too.
Like, he's in my heart, man.
Yeah.
He's such a great man. And
He is.
Gee, he's just so quick and zippity, and he's all about it. We're in our hotel room,
Yeah.
and he's like, "Hey, what's up?" And I'm like, "Hey, well, there's an Indian reservation down the road. That's where I'm from." I said, "You want to go down there?" I said, "We'll get some weed." You know, this one weed wasn't legal as it is today. You know, it was just like a risk. He's like, "Yeah, sure, man." You know? So him and I get in the rental car. We drive down to the Indian reservation, and I go to this hood that I know. It's called Cannonball. Cannonball. Okay. And we get there, and I hook up with these youngsters that I met there before when I was there before. Because I party with them. I always party after my shows with the locals, right?
They must love you, dude.
So when I came back there, I was like, "Hey, you guys got weed?" They're like, "Yeah, but this is it." You know? I said, "Well, I got $50. I'll put it on that sack." And they're like, "And you can go get more." I said, and they're like, "Okay."
So you talking about making that weed run with Frage. So what happened? So you
And
give
then-
him $50.
Hey, we get high, right? We head back to the city and back to our room and stuff. And fucking Frage is like so pro, dude. And I felt like I had to lead, but I couldn't get too silly with him and stuff. And he's just... I guess that even at that time, I did not realize how big he was, you know, how legendary he was and stuff. And I'm like, fuck, this is Frage.
Yeah. Dude, he talks about being at K-Rock and Van Halen giving him a demo tape to play because Frage was a DJ in Los Angeles.
That's right.
In the early 80s. And that's when DJs were rock stars because
they're the
power.
gatekeepers.
Yeah, they were the gatekeepers.
Yeah, and that's who I realized this guy was, you know. I mean, that's not why I brought him with me. I was just like,
He's
this
funny.
is Frage.
And
Yeah.
he's a great dude.
And I want to, I appreciate him, you know? It's just like, I appreciate you, you
Thank you.
appreciate me.
Yeah.
And hey, let's not
Let's stroke our cocks.
Let's not start sucking each other's dicks just yet. But yeah, Frage is such an amazing man. And eventually he was at KOLS. And he's like,
Did you do a show?
JR, you want to come on my show?
Awesome.
He called me one day. I was in my hot tub. Literally, sorry. And I was like, yeah, Frage, man. Thank you so much. And I went to KLOS, and and he wanted to talk about the weed story and all that. You know, he's like, JR, yeah. And I'm like, this guy in there, he knows Magic Johnson. He knows everybody. He knows fucking Hugh Hefner. Like, this guy is the man. And luckily, he's still alive.
Yeah.
So go check out Fraser Smith, man. He is an amazing man, and I love him so much. And this is how it goes in comedy, is like we're always like reciprocating, especially with our brothers. And it's like, feels like the closest thing to the military to me.
Yeah.
Because we're in warfare.
Yeah, yeah. No, but, staying on Frasier, that dude was on billboards and all around LA when he was at the peak of what he was doing over there at the radio station. Everybody knew him, and they still know him, right? Like, yeah. But he's down to earth, and he acts like it's no big deal.
It's just not a big deal to
this
him.
and that. Like, I'm a nobody. You know, we're all the same.
Mm-hmm.
And he treats you like that way. Like we're on the
Yeah,
same
he
level.
never puts you down. He never does any of
Yeah.
that. And he's really a sweet man.
Yeah.
He's just a really sweet man. And I feel like I can bring girls around him. He ain't going to steal them. Maybe you might. But yeah, man. Yeah, I'm sorry to call you out. But like, you gotta have game when you're out here in this business too. You gotta have swag. You know, you have to have experience, and even if you don't hang in there long enough, you'll get experience, and you'll work it out, and you'll kill it. And it's funny because I have two sons. One's 25 and one's 23 years old. And growing up, they never saw me work.
No?
No, they only saw me as a pro.
Mm.
You know? And they became spoiled.
Yeah.
Like, that spoils kids. Like, unless you're coming from the bottom,
Yeah.
literally,
Yeah.
like how we did,
Yeah.
like, they're
Yeah.
going to get spoiled.
Right.
Because they don't know any better.
Right.
They're like, we got a pool. We
Yeah,
got a
yeah.
hot tub.
No,
we live in the hottest
yeah.
area.
Yeah.
All that. The beach is right there.
Yeah.
You know?
No, dude. Let's see. The comedian that I had last week, Gary Lelly, a hilarious Italian comedian from New York City, dude, right? Just like really funny dude. He talks about having his now wife. I don't know if they were married when he was first going to open mics, dude, but she went to open mics, dude, and they're still together, dude. That's a keeper right there.
Oh,
You
fuck
right?
yeah.
Because you know
Yeah,
how brutal
yeah,
that shit
yeah.
is, right?
Yeah.
It's easy to love that person at the top, right?
Right,
That person that's just crushing. That's my
Right,
dad.
right.
Or that's my boyfriend. That's my, whoever.
Yeah.
That's an easy person to love.
But
that-
open mic?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. When you're first starting out, bro, and you're grinding and this and that, and you're taking that person, and that person stays with you, and yeah.
Honestly, I didn't want to bring my woman to open mics.
Good.
You
You're
know?
smart.
I'm like, nah, you should
Yeah.
come out tonight. You
Right.
know?
That's
because I'm like talking real, and it
Right.
might offend you, and I don't want
Yeah.
that to affect us. You
Yeah,
know? She
right.
eventually quit coming because I felt like when she was coming, well, not coming, but when she was coming out to my shows, she was like hampering me a little bit. You know, like it put a damper on my act.
Yeah.
Because I felt like I had to guard my words, you know?
Yes.
But when she
yes, I
wasn't
had
there,
that.
I was going, and this was before everybody could make a video, you know? This was before, like, this was where the flip phones were
Yeah.
in, you know?
Yeah.
And it was safer back then. But, like, once the smartphones came out and everybody had one and everybody could do their own shit, I was like, nah, you shouldn't be coming out here, girl. Like,
Yeah.
it's dangerous,
Yeah.
you know? And but I cheated on her. Such a bad.
No,
man.
but like the thing is, like you had in the back of your head, maybe I can't talk about this, or maybe I can't say this, and that's like death for stand up. You know, as far as growth goes, because we can't have that thing that's saying no, stop, don't do that.
Right.
You know what I
right.
mean? Like,
Unless you want to break up with them, then you'd be like, come out tonight, because I'm going to tell you. We're going to break out some truth in this biatch.
right?
Yeah. And, I think that's where we serve the community the best is when we're raw. And we're being honest and truthful. And, like, they may not like it, but they know they're thinking the same shit. And they do the same dirty raw dog shit we do.
Yeah.
Right? Raw dog comedy.
Raw dog.
Yeah, don't do that. Don't make me lose my mind. Yeah, so we covered a lot, man. And you know what? Like, I'm into sports. I'm very competitive.
Yeah.
I coached my kids.
Yeah? What do they play?
Football, basketball,
Nice.
baseball.
Oh, really?
All the
Wow.
good sports,
Yeah.
Yeah. And I'm a Dodger fan.
Because you got good genes, bro. You're built like a tank, bro. You got shoulders like a fucking bulldog over here.
Oh, wow, man. But you're in good shape. Shit.
Not during the pandemic, bro. It's all been fucking
Nah,
Jack
man.
Daniels.
You must be
Jack.
working
I
out,
was. When you
though.
knew me like at the haha, I was jacked.
Nah, even today,
Nah,
if
not
they look
today.
in the camera, they
Nah.
could see like this.
Nope.
This fool's ripped.
Nope.
Nah, I got a kegger.
I'm not the guy I was
I'm not
today.
even proud of it.
Yeah.
Like I'm like, before I come back out, I gotta look like Eric.
Right. Yeah, right.
Yeah,
Do it! Come on! Come on! Do it now!
do it. Fucking, did you ever see that? I don't know if there was a meme about Schwarzenegger where he's all saggy.
Nice, yeah.
I'm like,
It
that
just
guy
makes
was
me
my
laugh
hero.
thinking of it. Yeah, no, mine too.
Yeah, I like working out though. It's bad when your joints get bad. Though.
Yeah, exactly. That's
Are
why
your joints getting bad?
my back a little bit if I don't take care of it, or I eat like some like crazy gluten shit,
Nah.
But your joints, dude, that's what I learned like getting older, bro. That's why I'm happy. Some people got knee problems or like elbow
I got
problems.
knee.
Oh, you do?
Yeah. Because when you're hooking up jets, like you're on the landing gear of the nose of the aircraft, and you gotta dip down, and you're always like your hip, you're like duck walking.
Yeah.
And your knees.
Did you wear knee pads?
No. When you're young, you're just so fucking like
Yeah,
Top
I'll do
Gun.
it. Yeah.
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 And I was a Top Gun fucking
Right
guy, man. I fucking did that shit all day long. But that keeps you from working out. So you have to come up with inventive ways to keep your ligaments and all that shit. You don't think about this when you're young.
Right.
Only when you get into your 40s,
Yeah.
mid 40s,
Yep.
and then sex.
Yeah.
Oh fuck, let's not even go there. But like, I take vitamins, girls, so my shit's still like,
Yeah. Yeah.
it's still good.
Yeah. No, good.
No,
yeah.
but,
You got to
like-
take your vitamins.
Yeah, if you're not taking vitamins and that shit's,
Yeah. You got to take your vitamins.
that's like playing pool with a fucking, and it's that deep. It really is.
Exactly.
So, but I just don't think that people are talking about this or doing this. But what I recommend, if you're out there and you want to go hard,
Yeah.
like fucking take some,
Goat weed.
testo booster or
Yeah.
some shit like that, you
Yeah,
know?
it helps.
I mean, and test them out. Not everything's for everybody,
Right.
you know? But look, I got this good mustache growing.
No, it looks good, brother.
Like, I mean, it didn't look that good in the beginning.
Yeah.
Like it was so like,
Right. Patchy.
but it's
mine
coming
too.
in,
Yeah.
and I got one of those trimmers, I'm trying to make it not look like Fu Manchu. Because once I went back to my ex, she was like, "Don't think you can come back here with the Fu Manchu."
What the fuck?
And I'm like, well, obviously it's working. Then other girls are showing me videos of the cartoon where the guy has a mustache that's like flipping like this. Oh my. So I'm not really good with facial hair, but it looks like you are.
It looks good, buddy. It's you know, my face. I stopped with the facial hair, bro, because like it's starting to get gray. So that's
but
like,
gray is like sexy too nowadays.
and the hair, I'm okay with it. I'm like, but like with the facial hair or my pubes, if they see that shit, then I'm like,
well, you got to manscape.
well, I can't be like a 12-year-old boy. I gotta have that fucking.
Well, one time some girl was sucking my dick a long time ago.
Oh, nice.
And my pubes were like fucking 10 inches long. Like you could braid them. Like they had cornrows.
Oh, come on, man.
Oh, yeah. And she's like, you got to shave that. She's like, you need to trim that.
Oh, man.
And I was like, oh, it's all getting in the way, Yeah. But today I'm manscaping. I like it that girls do that too,
Yeah.
They
I like.
womanscape.
I'm old school, man. I need like an old school '70s bush. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah. Pretty much. A couple of the girls I've been with lately are not ashamed of growing their bushes. They're just like, hey, I don't give a fuck.
Yeah,
it's a
I like
pandemic.
that. Yeah,
man.
right. It's a
I'm lonely,
pandemic.
and so are you.
Motherfucker.
And then you land right in it like a big fluffy bush. And I like big fluffy bushes. I can understand the porn, the Playboy back in the 70s, 60s, where they're just like full on.
Yeah.
And that's how you know the carpet match the drapes.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's amazing. My mom and my grandma, they told me, you can't go out with white girls.
No.
They never told you that?
No.
You can't go out with white girls? And I guess that's racism, right?
Yeah.
Because they're like, because they're going to dilute your blood. You're full blood. And I am full blood.
Yeah.
So any girls out there want some full blood, here I am. But
where can they find you,
fuck
Jay?
that. I'm like, fuck that, Like, I don't want to go out with Indian girls, man. I want to go out with white girls.
Yeah.
And that's what I did.
Nice.
And white girls and Asians and Singapore. I got kicked out of Singapore.
You did?
Yeah, I can't go back there.
What happened?
Well,
What the fuck was that?
it was just because, like, minor implications.
It was at this moment that he knew. He fucked up.
Yeah, it was one of those moments, and I'm glad I can't go back there.
Why you bully me?
Well, I had a lot of good times over there, like in Singapore, like with many women. Many. It's just like, that's how the country rolls, like.
Give your meat a good old rub. Yeah, boy.
And that's what we did. We did a lot of that.
Give your meat a good old rub.
And you girls out there, you're just letting these guys go down on you, and you're letting them do that to you, and you're just letting them raw dog you and stuff like that. But these girls aren't.
Seriously.
They're pros.
Seriously.
They'll take your dick.
Yeah.
They'll like wash it, scrub it, soap it up, all that, and then put a condom on you. So pro.
Yeah.
And I think they're certified.
Yeah. God bless them.
Yes.
I love them.
And you got to tip them good.
Yeah.
So they'll keep, doing a service to the community. So, hey, we're getting a little bit deep here.
Yeah.
We're going deep. But a lot of these. One time I pulled into Australia. Yeah. Australia the first night. And we pull in there. And my son was born at the time. What a dick, right?
Cock blocker.
So I'm in Australia and we pull in for the first time. It was like 6,000 sailors hit the beach, dude. And I'm walking down this. I'm at the casino, right? I'm walking down this hallway. I come out of the casino. I'm like, people are losing money. Fuck that. I'm not about that. I'm trying to get laid, right?
Yeah.
I come down the hallway. I see 3 of the hottest blondes walking towards me. They're like, tight skirts, mini skirts, high heels. Ooh, all looking good. And I'm like, hey, ladies. I'm like, you want to party? They're like, ah. Dude, I have 3 women, boom, under my arm. I'm walking in the club like this. 3 girls. Right? All my boys are there. They're like, Redwater! Oh, wow! All of a sudden, I'm the hottest fucking dude. All these girls are like so fucking like into it. And they're like, oh! And then my boys start buying them drinks because I can't do all that, you know? And then I partied with those 3 girls for a whole fucking week. They took me all over Australia to all the best clubs, parties, all that. I even met their boyfriends. 3 boyfriends one morning. And they're like, hey, who are you? I introduced myself. They introduced. They're like, we're going fishing. I'm like, yeah, I'll be fishing tonight with your girlfriend. They were so mad when we left. Oh, dude. Yeah, I got a lot of those stories, but then you get older.
Yeah.
And then you're looking for that one special pussy. Ooh, that one that fits though, pussy. You know, like a ring. Pussy. Just slide it on, and you're pussy. Like, that's the shit right there.
I hear you, bro.
That's all about that, you know. Yeah. Like when that's it comes down to it,
turn right.
Yeah, you know, like seriously, there is a woman out there. Like, I'll find her. She's out there somewhere. Yeah,
there's plenty of women out there. JR, you're gonna find them all.
I think I found them all.
No, there's more.
They're all married kids. Now. They all have kids now.
Yeah.
They're like, we weren't gonna wait for you, JR. So, and if you find one, like, keep her.
Yeah. That good one.
That's the main thing.
I found her.
I think you did.
Thank you, brother.
So and I thank you, brother. You are a legend.
You're a legend,
in
bro.
your own right. You brought me out to the Workaholics house.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
You put me on stage.
Yeah,
there,
buddy.
Dude. That
yes,
was
I did.
so fucking cool. I didn't even fucking expect that.
That's where this podcast comes from, because this is a podcast that was a comedic podcast that I was having out of the Workaholics house.
And I've been to a party at your house before you were so, you know.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
When I had my own house, and yeah.
I was like, who the fuck
I was
is
loving
this
it,
guy?
doing it, hell yeah.
Yeah, man, this guy is so sexy.
Coming up to the stage, loving it, doing it, hell yeah. With looks that kill and dress to thrill, feast your eyes on this sexy little lady, hell yeah.
Come on, girl, do it.
Do it. Hell
yeah. Erica Legria. Fucking A, bro.
Yeah, bro.
I'm so glad I know you in all my life.
Same here, brother.
I feel like today we're going to get on. We're going to get rocking it. We're going to own all these motherfuckers. Dude, why not?
Let's do it.
Let's do it.
Because we could do it.
We can. And it's all about doing it.
It is all about doing it.
And don't ever give up, Nick.
Don't ever give up.
That's right.
Do it! Come on! Do it now!
I got one show booked this year up in Seattle. So, I didn't drop my prices, dude.
Nice.
I stuck to the guns.
Fuck yeah.
Because I remember, here's another gem, okay?
What?
For all the up and comers out there that are listening. And
rookies.
they're like, fucking maybe JR has one more gem for us. And this is it. And I learned this from Adam Beach. You know Adam Beach?
Sounds familiar.
He's the Indian guy on Joe Dirt selling fireworks. Remember that guy with the
I didn't see the movie.
dark rim glasses? He has
I'm sure I've seen it.
Braids, and he's selling fireworks at a stand on the side of the road. And Joe Dirt, he comes up, he's like, buys fireworks from him.
Yeah.
Like sparklers and the snakes and stuff like that. Adam Beach once told me, he was like, because I brought him on tour with me because he's famous. And he's like, JR, just remember, here's the gem. Get what you're worth. Make sure to get what you're worth. Basically, don't undersell yourself.
That's right.
If you're worth 5, 10, 12, 20,000 per night, get that. And I really appreciate you for bringing me here.
Bro, it was great seeing you, man.
You have a
Great
great
hanging
fucking
out.
studio.
Thank you, brother.
And you live in one of the most bomb towns.
It's dope.
Redondo Beach.
You know it.
I was like, well, this motherfucker living in Redondo Beach.
Right?
Got a nice woman, nice studio. Ooh.
Thanks, brother.
And
with that, we're going to leave you. Where can they find you, JR, if they want to look you up? So you got your website?
Just check me on Insta.
Okay. What's your Insta?
At JRRedwater.
Okay.
JRRedwater. That's where I mostly am. Peace out. I love you.
Love you too, brother. JRRedwater, give it up for this legend right here in the Poop Dollar Studios. Loving it, doing it, hell yeah.